I've heard the shadow functions being mentioned a few times this last week. Would you be able to explain how we can look at them from the 4 people within perspective and the impact that they have on us? Yes, and I love this question. I don't generally like talking about the shadow functions because most people don't need to be doing the shadow function work yet. Most people, in fact, need to focus on their actual car, their actual, what I call the light functions, the functions that you're aware of. So if you're an INFP, like you are, Mari, your light functions are introverted feeling, in this order. Number 1, introverted feeling. Number 2, extroverted intuition. Number 3, introverted sensing. And number 4, extroverted thinking. Okay? So the shadow functions are the same functions, but the orientation has been flipped. So your shadow adult self, which is your function number 5, would be extroverted feeling because your light function, driver function, is introverted feeling. Okay? So number 5 is extroverted feeling. Number 6 is introverted intuition because your number 2 is extroverted intuition. Number 7, Number 7 is extroverted sensing because your number 3 is introverted sensing. And then number 8 is introverted thinking because your number 4 is extroverted thinking. So you were asking, would you be able to explain how we can look at them from the 4 people within perspective? So if you look at your shadow functions from 4 people within perspective, it's exactly the same as your light functions. So you have 2 extroverted parts of you, 2 introverted parts of you, but they're in different order. So your shadow personality is actually extroverted, right? So your shadow personality leads with extroverted feeling. And the next one is introverted intuition. So your shadow type is ENFJ. And that's what, as an INFP, and that's why INFPs and ENFJs generally are like this power pair when they do stuff, because they're so, they have no functions in common, but they are so complementary. It's like everything just like slides straight in. So that's what as an INFP, that's what your shadow personality basically is. Now, how that impacts you, how the shadow functions impact you mostly is unconsciously. But once you become conscious of it, what happens is that once you've done enough work with your numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 functions, then when you start working on your 5, 6, 7, 8 functions, what happens is that everything becomes a lot more rounded. So you have both thinking decision makers. You have the extroverted and introverted thinker. Then you have both introverted and extroverted feeling decision makers. Then you also are able to collect information both with introverted and extroverted sensing, as well as introverted and extroverted intuition. So that's what happens there. Now, for INFJs, your shadow function, so your light functions are introverted intuition, number one. Number 2, extroverted feeling. Number 3, introverted thinking. Number 4, extroverted sensing. Your fifth function, which is your number 1 function flipped, is extroverted intuition. Number 6 is introverted feeling. Number 7 is extroverted thinking. And number 8 is introverted sensing. So your shadow type as an INFJ is ENFP. And that's why INFJs and ENFPs are like power pair. So I hope that explains it to you in a way that's understandable. If not, pop some comments down into the comment section and get some more specific questions, because the more specific your questions are, the more specific and succinct answer I can give you.